The 1492 Algorithm 2.0, The Future That Waited and Was Not Chosen. Part 3, The World That Grew Instead. If contact had been delayed, what kind of world might have emerged? In the concluding record of this archive transmission, the Keeper explores a future shaped not by conquest but by hesitation. Civilizations evolve along different rhythms. Curiosity returns slowly, carefully, less certain, more aware. This is not a better world, not a worse one, only a different path that waited beside our own. A meditation on restraint, consequence, and the quiet courage of choosing when not to proceed. Released unclassified and unredacted for Federation ears.
Time did not stand still. It never does. Even unchosen futures carry motion. Across the oceans, civilizations matured without the sudden fracture that once defined history. Coastal watchers became storytellers. Their descendants inherited a simple ethic. When strangers arrive, ask not what they carry. Ask what follows them. This did not prevent contact forever. Nothing does. But it changed the terms under which contact would one day occur. In Europe, innovation continued. Navigation improved, astronomy deepened. The shape of the Earth became less argument and more observation. Eventually, new voyages began again, not driven by a single triumphant myth, but by quieter curiosity. Some returned, some vanished, some came close enough to glimpse distant shores and turned back, uncertain. The world grew wider, not through conquest, but through hesitation. Centuries later, when sustained contact finally unfolded, it did not arrive as a flood. It arrived as conversation. Ships approached with signals first, questions first, requests for exchange instead of declarations of destiny. The old stories of the lost expedition still lingered in European memory, a warning that the horizon could answer back. The Americas did not remain unchanged. They never would have. Cities rose and fell, conflicts emerged and resolved. Trade expanded across continents, forming alliances that outsiders struggled to understand. Technology evolved along different paths, less centered on extraction, more on adaptation to landscape. No utopia formed, only plurality, only difference, only time allowed to move at its own tempo. And the strangers who had once watched their ships burn, their descendants lived between worlds, not conquerors, not captives, witnesses. Their stories carried a paradox. That loss had created a different form of survival. The algorithm did not disappear, it waited. In every age, someone would still believe that discovery justified possession. In every age, someone else would remember the fire on the shore and ask a quieter question. What if the greatest act of courage is restraint? This future was not better. It was not worse. It was simply one path among many. A world where history bent differently because one community chose to hold the horizon rather than surrender it. End of transmission.
These records do not describe what happened. They describe what almost happened, what might have unfolded had one choice tilted differently. Had one voice been heard, had one fear been met with patience instead of urgency. This is the archive of unchosen futures. We do not preserve these timelines to regret them. We preserve them to remember that history is never inevitable, and neither is harm. Stay tuned for more from the Keeper's Living Logs on Wanderer Chronicles Radio. Thanks for listening.